So vibe coding. So hang on, let me show you something. Build a single file habit tracker that runs in the browser, minimal dark UI, add and delete habits, 7-day tracking, progress indicator, local persistence. Okay, and of course, here we are. I can mark down the days that I was drinking this week. I apparently didn't drink today. What days have I meditated? And then maybe even the days that I've run, and it's keeping a nice solid counter on the side. Excellent. This really is a pretty good application. One request, one app. That's vibe coding. Or that's what it used to be. If you've tried this before, maybe this exact thing, you know what comes next. You play with it for a minute, you find it interesting, you maybe even send it to a friend, and then right after that, you close the tab, never to come back to it again, because what are you supposed to do with this thing? That moment, that stop, it has a name. But more important, there's something beyond that. Let me show you what's on the other side. But first, let's talk about why you stopped. I call it the 70% wall. It's easiest to illustrate with image models. Maybe you were around when DALL-E came out, the very first kind of image model that hit it big, or early Midjourney, where you had to really know specific kind of prompting styles to get anything meaningful out of it. So let's use that as an example, even if your first experience with this is recent image models. So we all know the trick. You one day come in, you ask for something fun, maybe a monkey with a hat, and you think that's cute, it's all neat and everything, and so you want to make a small change. Maybe give the monkey red fingernails. And then all of a sudden something changes. Something pivots. It doesn't exactly give you back what you want. It's not perfect, and it really wasn't even perfect to begin with. So you think, yep, that was good enough. I'll share this with somebody, or I'll put my meme text on it and I'm good. And then you never come back to it again. That's the 70% wall. This is that moment where you didn't really want it in the first place. You didn't care if it exactly hit your mark. So getting to 70% was fine. You used it, you threw it away, you didn't really need it. The same thing happens for software in like vibe coding, what we just did. You build something, it's interesting, it's fun to use, but maybe it's not exactly what you wanted. You don't know how to take it any steps further. You don't even know what to do with it if you did. So you kind of just walk away from it and say, okay, good enough, I've done vibe coding. And the conclusion you take away is vibe coding is a party trick. It's neat, it doesn't really do anything sophisticated. Maybe in an engineer's hands, something magical could happen, but not yours. That's the 70% wall. It's not a dead end. It's where the learning starts. Let's talk about what's on the other side. So this is a tracker I built. Same tools, same methodology, exactly same kind of prompts, but this is where it ended up. So for example, you can track your water, but it's a little bit more elegant in the way that you might go about tracking your water. That's excellent. Or maybe you want to track the days that you run, and you can pick the days that you run, and it keeps track of them. Fantastic. And what about a super elegant system that kind of keeps track of the days that you meditate? You just come in, select the days that you've meditated, and it's keeping track. And it's nice and calm. So this is the same application essentially. There's a lot of things that you can do using the same vibe coding techniques in better tools. That alone makes a big difference. Now, I'm not advocating that anybody that can ask for a simple tracker can also do this. This takes a little bit of time to understand, but it's really understanding what you want. This was not me asking for very technical solutions. This was asking for the outcome that I wanted. And pushing through that 70% wall that I kept hitting. Again and again, it would get me pretty close, and I would have to give it the instruction back and the context and say, we didn't quite get there, figure out why, here's what I'm really looking for, in the exact same way that you might. So what exactly changed? How did vibe coding go from that to this? About a year ago, Andrej Karpathy coined the term vibe coding to kind of mean working with a model to write software, letting it write all the software, just continually hitting accept, and letting the model take it where it might. Okay, that's where it started, but that's not where it stayed. That was just a doorway. That's fine for day one. And in fact, if that's what you've been doing, that's fantastic, because not only is it a great entrance into new engineering, It actually is the solution sometimes. Knowing when to use just that for your solution or needing to go bigger, that takes a little bit of time and some reps. But really, both of them use the same techniques. Since the term was coined, the models have gotten better, the tools have gotten far, far better, and many of our techniques have also honed in more specifically on making this successful. This is not just vibe coding these days, this is really natural language engineering. And that's what you're part of. Simple vibe coding gets you in the door, but the room beyond is always bigger than the doorway. So who exactly is this for? If you're a professional engineer, someone who gets paid to write code or wants to, this is for you. I'm sorry to say, maybe you're resistant to it. This is absolutely the future, at least the future that we can see right now. I think we will level up even beyond this, but understanding this layer will be fundamental even if we do move a little bit beyond of it later in this year or maybe early into next year. So this is actually something that you'll want to pay attention to, and you need to learn it as soon as you can. People using these tools will soon begin to lap those who don't, and professionally, obviously, that will matter. If you're curious or a hobbyist or just someone who's always wanted to be able to do this sort of thing, this is 100% for you. The door is open now. And look, if you've tried before, and maybe you even went beyond the browser tools to do raw vibe coding and you went into something like Cursor or other tools, and you reached a point and kind of gave up, you must know now that there is a 70% wall. That's important. That one piece of information will make it easier to climb next time. It's really okay to start again. It's time. All right, so let's talk briefly about where you can start. If you're starting cold and have never done anything like this beyond using the browser, first, definitely go use the browser. That is so simple. Go into any one of these chatbots and just say something like, I want a tracker app, and see what you come out with. But if you're going just one step beyond that and you don't want to pay yet, I would say Gemini. If you have a Google login, you can use something called Gemini CLI, which is a tool that will give you about 1,000 requests a day, which is enough to be kind of useful in this space and explore a little bit. If you get to a point where you're running into that limit, it's time for a subscription. Or maybe you already have a subscription, a ChatGPT account maybe, or Anthropic account, either one of those subscriptions, and you can use the best tools out there. There's Codex CLI if you're in the OpenAI world. Works great. Absolutely easy to install, easy to get started with. Same thing for Claude Code. It's best in class if you have an Anthropic account. Those two accounts, just your normal subscription for 20 bucks a month, will allow you to do a tremendous amount of work, especially if you're just putting your toe in the water and really getting started. But you really have to get started. So the way to get started is you have to get started. There's something inside of you that's preventing you from getting started. And it's not actually you. It's those voices that are saying, hey, why don't you just look at your phone? Why don't you watch another video? Why don't you do something else? Anything else? So here's something I would offer you. Challenge yourself to do 5 minutes. Just today, you're going to just get one of these tools installed, or even just query how to install it. Good enough, I did that today. Celebrate that you went that far. Hack yourself. You have to hack yourself beyond your motivations. Your motivations will always say, do the simple. Stop doing this. That's why you hit that wall and turned around the first time. You didn't really have any reason to go further. Well, now you do. The door is really open. Look, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is unquestionably the most excited I've ever been about the things that we can do, and not just the people that know about it. For way too many years, programming has seemed to be locked up behind some advanced degree or a professional job or years and years of personal training or knowledge or something like that, or anything else that's prevented you from getting started in that space. Well, not any longer. The door is unlocked and it is open. You can dent the universe now. That's what programming lets you do. It lets you put something in the world that didn't exist there before, and it's magical. I cannot advise it enough. Give it a shot. Now more than ever before, all of those capabilities are actually at your fingertips. Go dent something. All right. Thanks for coming along for the ride on this one, and I'll see you in the next one.